County Commissioner, Pro Tem, District 1, Mrs. Lashunda Scales. Mrs. Scales, I have to do this. Awesome lady right here.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm very grateful to be here with you tonight. Because of COVID, we're making sure that we have residents in.
We can't hear what you're saying.
You can't hear what we're saying? Can you hear me now? I think I figured it out. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So I want to say good evening to the mayor, who's been awesome to work with, this city council, your clerk, all of you who are here with us tonight. I'm very thankful, especially to our police and fire department too. We know that due to COVID.
Your volume is gone. I back out again. It keeps going off. Your mic does.
Okay. Okay. Are we there? So, hold on just a moment. You want to get it? Can you hear me now, ma'am? Can you hear us now?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So, and when you can't, then just let us know. But we're here tonight because we want to update the residents of Adamsville and Docina in terms of what has been accomplished here. I'm going to ask our newly appointed county manager, which is Cal Marker. Cal served as our deputy director for Jefferson County. He's also assisted me tonight to make sure we heard some feedback earlier, and that's the reason why we were trying to make sure that if you were tuning in via Zoom and in person, we wanted you to be able to hear us adequately. So I want to get straight to our report. I'm going to ask Cal to come on up with us now. As you can tell, there's been some road work that has been done in this area. The mayor and the city council, when I took office in 2018-19, there was a through road agreement that the county was able to get through the partnership of this city. So most of you all know that when you go down Minor Parkway, that is a $1.6 million project. We had in the city, well, it's not a city, but in unincorporated Jefferson County, Docina. So there were roads that were not finished paving. So we paved those roads, finished those roads, and then we came back and then we started on Minor Parkway. And that, again, is a through road agreement that is now in the possession of the county by way of the authority that was granted to us through this local government of Adamsville. And so that being said, he's going to share with you some of the road projects that we've been able to get, not just this year, but throughout. Also, there were COVID relief dollars that we were able to make sure that the city of Adamsville was able to retain. That's important because we got a lot of work that we know that is going on in other areas of the county. But we believe that all parts of the county matters, and that includes the city of Adamsville. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Cal Marker. Again, I'm the commissioner, so for those of you all that are just joining us, then we're here tonight to make an official report so that you can know exactly what's going on in your city. Come on, Cal.
Thank you, Commissioner Scales. City Councilman, Mayor, it's been a pleasure to work with you as well. Good to be in Adamsville. As Commissioner Scales mentioned, and everybody probably knows, the county was in bad shape there for a few years after the bankruptcy, and we laid off, I would say, half our staff, half the employees. But in the last 4 or 5 years, we've really tried to kind of staff back up. We've got some things worked out with our sales tax, so we have a little bit of money, and the commission has definitely invested it back into the infrastructure. And as a part of that kind of rebuild in Jefferson County, we had to go back and re-sign through road agreements with each city. And Adamsville was one of them, so we got that done, and then that was tough. Thank you, Mayor,
Thank you.
because we were just so far behind everywhere in the county, from Hoover to here to Trussville. It has been a very difficult last 4 or 5 years, because if you pave one road, there's probably 5 right beside it that need paving at the same time. But we've been getting after it pretty hard. The commission really has invested and put the money where it needs to go, and I'm proud to be a part of that. Just in Adamsville, since 2019, we have federal aid money we put on Minor Parkway, which totaled $1.67 million. That was completed in September of 21. Another major project was the Minor Parkway Bridge replacement at Cromley Chapel. Y'all probably familiar with that distraction, but that was $4 million. And then Glasgow Road Bridge replacement, $1.4 million. And then very recently, Commissioner Scales invested her infrastructure money into a city street, Main Street, which is not county, but we did it for the city with her at a cost of $200,000. And we do a lot of work orders, not necessarily in Adamsville, but I believe we have a community called Adamsville that's in and out and all around. We probably did $1.5 million worth of work requests, mowing, ditching, and patching potholes and that kind of thing. I think over 1,000 work requests have been completed in the last 3 or 4 years. So that's our report for tonight, and I'm sure we'll have more road projects coming in the future, and we appreciate your cooperation with the city officials. It's tremendous, and that's how we get things done, when we can partner and work together and put the taxpayers' money back, where it came from. So, thank you.
Don't go far.
So just as our county manager said, there's been a lot of intentional work, because you got a mayor and a city council that has been very intentional about working with the county. I think that that's one of the things that I found in this mayor that was very unique for me, is that she really wanted to just make sure that whatever the county committed to, that we actually did it. And so the roads that some of you all have been waiting to get paid for a very long time, let me explain to you how the county works in terms of by state law. We are a creature of the state, which means that if it's not explicitly written in the law, then the county cannot override the jurisdiction of a city. And that's why we call it a three-road agreement. So that three-road agreement allows us to, first of all, if there's a need, and the city, meaning the local government, gives us the authority by way of a resolution. That means that the mayor and the city council have to pass an official resolution. And so those of you all who have been here, when I was here, then you would know about, there have been several agreements that when we come, we have to come and get permission lawfully in order for us to be able to do what we're doing. Does that make sense? So when we speak of COVID relief dollars or federal dollars, I want you to turn to page 8. My staff is assisting me because they're sharing the screen. So if when we go over this, what you see in my hand, I want to make sure that you're seeing it on the screen, because I want to respect, number one, your intelligence and the officials that represent your city. And then in unincorporated Jefferson County, which is Dosena, we want to make sure that you're able to read along with us. So if you go to page 8, you got page 8 up, Ashley?
Can I get a copy?
Yes. So page 8, you will see the dollars that, first of all, when you go to the second paragraph, it says Federal CARES Act funding. You need to know, first of all, how much Jefferson County was awarded overall. That was $114.9 million, okay? Of that, what was allocated to Salvation Army, that was more than $1.8 million. And obviously that come from the utility and mortgage and rental assistance that the county began to do, especially for those who were either laid off from COVID, out of work, whatever the circumstances were. We wanted to make sure that those dollars were there. If you go to page 9, and that's for the folk in person, but we're sharing the screen with you. Are you on page 9 now? All right. Then you will see COVID relief dollars, and it says December 30th, 2018. Of course, that's when I first took office. You got a telecommunications equipment grant for $50,000. 2018 as well. Police grant for telecommunications equipment, another $50,000. December 30th, 2018, City of Adamsville, access camera equipment, that was $25,294. December 15th, 2020, City of Adamsville jail operations, that was $209,083. And so your total altogether between the first document on page 8, page 9, and when it says CRF total, you're talking about CARES Relief Fund, was $6.9 million, which is $6,928,675.05. You go over to page 10. That's why I want you to make sure that you're reading along with us. August 27, 2019, our Board of Education for Jefferson County Schools, which we know that City of Adamsville and Docena, those students are attending county schools where you need to know that their trauma kits that they received with the approval of the commission was $1,800. September 3rd, 2020, Jefferson County Board of Education, Internet Access Remote Learning, the county, we approved $127,499.25. Okay, go to page 11. So let's talk about from Commission District 1. We have what we call community grants and infrastructure grants. So the City of Adamsville applied for a grant 2018, which would be December 2018. This grant was not applied for, but this is what the county's commitment is to our senior centers. And so that was $10,000. You're going to see August 27th, which is a repeat. Adamsville Senior Center, another $10,000. January 23rd, 2020, Minor Middle School Infrastructure Grant, and then that came from my office specifically. September 10th, 2020, Adamsville Senior Center. So you see that repeat of that $10,000. That's the county's commitment to our senior centers throughout Jefferson County. Also, you have Park West Athletic Association Sports Program, which is a program that is in the Adamsville area. We awarded them $2,500 from our office. Again, Adamsville Senior Center, October 21, 2021, is $10,000. And then you have your Adamsville City Park Walking Trail. That was $7,500. And that too was your mayor making sure that we honored a request of making sure about that park. Also, if you go to page number 12, again, follow along with me. March 11th, 2021, debris removal, which is a memorandum of understanding. That's what that MOU means. September 9th, 2021, Adamsville Through Road Agreement, which was $25,000. December 17th, 2021, City of Adamsville Through Roads Agreement again. That's something we just did recently in partnership with the mayor and the city council. Started out being $175, and when you hear this total amount of $200,000, that is between September 9th and December 17th. From my office was approved $200,000. April 8th, 2019, there is a bus route from Forestdale to Adamsville so that individuals who need that transportation can come to the City of Adamsville. That totaled $100,000. That is something that I partnered with the county manager's office by way of Walter Jackson. And so therefore, this is a brand new route, as a matter of fact, between Forestdale and Adamsville, but we knew that it was sorely needed. So the first year, and that's why I want you to look at the dates, it was $100,000. Second year was December 2012, 2019. It was $250,000. Those dollars basically was initially the $250,000 was to cover Fairfield, Forestdale, and some other bus routes that were not covered by their local government. Second time, the county said, hey, well, we're not going to do it to the tune of $250,000. So that's when the city council and mayor of Adamsville put up a certain amount of money, and then we came back and we matched it. So again, that was another partnership between the city of Adamsville, my office, and the county. Go to page number 13. Our county manager talked about that, and it's minor parkway resurfacing from Highway 269 to Crumley Chapel Road. That was a $1,676,482.73 project. We knew that it was going to take a lot, but I was determined that we were going to get that done. And why is that? Because when we're talking about economic development, that means that we have to make sure that you're driving on safe roads, not only for those who are trying to do business and commerce, but for the people who actually live here in the city. That's very important. Also, when you're talking about the minor parkway bridge replacement at Crumley Chapel, you'll see that's $4,113,003.55. So, page 14. All together, when you look at it, I know you may say, really? That's why we're giving you, and you can always contact my office. So those of you that are joining us by Zoom, you can be able to calculate these numbers yourself. Because you said, my goodness, where in the world did $10 million go? Well, just remember, I just told you that you had a bridge to be replaced for more than $4 million. When you're talking about those COVID relief dollars, even though they come to the county by way of the federal government, you have to understand that it's my job as the commissioner to make sure that this city gets their fair share of this money. And I will tell you that you can exit out of it now, Ashley. I can tell you that I cannot say thank you enough to your local city government, because if we don't have your city government on board to help us to do what we're doing, then really there's nothing that your commissioner can do. I will tell you that this council and mayor has been very intentional that whenever dollars reach the county, they are making sure that they are tapping into those dollars. We have other cities that they are very aggressive about getting monies, but I can tell you that Adamsville has been spot on to make sure that when those dollars reach the county, they're equally applying for those dollars. If you do not apply for the dollars, you have no opportunity for that to be realized in your community. Even though I'm here tonight as a part of a presentation, of a check presentation, do let me say this. Hazelwood is another project that Cal and I have talked about. That's in the process, I think. When is that going to be, Cal? Huh?
Working on it now.
So Hazelwood, for those of you all who live in Adamsville, Hazelwood Road is going, am I saying it correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
So Hazelwood is the next road to be done.
Let me say,
Go ahead, come on.
while we were working on there at the bridge,
Come on up there.
it had needed major repair, so that's what we're working on. We don't have plans to do the entire Hazelwood Road. It's in pretty good shape, but we want to get those bad places.
Tell them where it's going to be, Mr. County Manager.
Hazelwood near the both the bridge ends, on the bridge on Hazelwood.
Okay.
Thank
So, Hazelwood is the next that is on the list to be done. I can tell you that I am not one that believe that we should wait every 4 years to do anything. I believe that if you go back through these documents, for those of you all who are here with us, you'll notice I kept giving dates. I believe that we should be consistent. And I am one that believes that it's the squeaking wheel that gets the job done. Some of the road work that the mayor had requested to be included based on past promises, those were the things that we tried to tackle first, because we knew that those were some of the more costlier projects that we needed to get done. But at the end of the day, that's what it's going to take. So I cannot, again, I want to stress that you all have a quorum tonight, so therefore I have to make sure that I'm within my little time frame, because I'm very grateful that they allowed me to come and present to you tonight. And probably what we'll do for those of you all who are with us via Zoom, if you have any questions, if you can hold those questions, if you can take down our office number. so that we can exercise the right to quorum so that they can finish their meeting. Our office number is 205-214-5507. That's 214-5507. Carol, if you could come on up too and give them your number.
And I'd like to say something too.
Yes. Come on, okay.
All right, let me find it.
Actually, put these numbers on there. You put them on there? Okay, very good. No. Give them your number.
205-325-5638.
Say it again.
205-325-5638.
So whenever, don't go anywhere. I'm telling him to stay with me. So whenever you are looking for your right-of-ways to be clean, the County Manager Act, let me just kind of share this with you, of 2009 was adopted. And so therefore, it's like the mayor council form of government. So we cannot give directives to any of the county employees. However, this guy right here, who takes care of the daily operations of the county, we as a commission can give him a directive. And so therefore, when you're asking for different things to be done that are county related, and you say, hey, we want to make sure that if I'm in Docena, that's in unincorporated Jefferson County, we want to get our right of way clean. We need to have certain homes to be demolished and that kind of thing. Well, he's the person, meaning that he controls all of that. So I wanted to make sure that everyone hear him about his phone number. Everyone here in person, did you get his number? Okay, so I wanted to make sure you had the number so you'll know. Then you said, well, Commissioner Scales, we have gotten with his office. We went the way that you told us to go. What is the next step? Then make sure that you are contacting my office directly. So then I can communicate to him because I'm responsible for you. If you're in the city of I'm so used to saying Fairfield, forgive me, Adamsville, so I have to explain this to them too. You're in the city of Adamsville, then you have to contact, first of all, your local government. So if you're saying, well, wait a minute, the sheriff is supposed to be coming out here in Adamsville in partnership with the city government, but you have a police department. Whereas though with the Docena, you're in unincorporated Jefferson County, so yes, then the sheriff is responsible for making sure that you're taken care of. And I'm going to make sure that you get from my office a number to contact the sheriff as well, because that is very important, because we do have some things that are happening, but we want to make sure that you know exactly who to hold accountable for exactly whatever the nature of it is. And in closing, I will say this. One other thing that you need to know, that when we are talking about projects for your specific city, it is imperative that when the mayor invites you all to come to be a part, that you are a part of the meeting, okay? It doesn't take but the voices of a few people to determine the overall masses. So if you want us to be able to partner with the mayor, then indicate to her she's very aggressive about making sure that her city is not overlooked by the county. So it will be helpful to us if you all make sure that you're participating in the meetings just like you're doing tonight, because your voice does matter. So I know the mayor said she had something that she wanted to say as well, and we want to acknowledge that as well. So if you all can just hold on just a moment.
I just want to say one thing, and I'll try and make it short. I've been the mayor now for quite a while here in Adamsville, going on 14 years. And I can tell you, until we had Mrs. Scales in office here in Jefferson County, the city of Adamsville was frequently overlooked. We are very happy to have Ms. Scales as our county commissioner. She makes sure that Adamsville is taken care of. We appreciate her and we love her dearly. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. So if you all don't mind, do you all, if by raising your hand on Zoom, are you all interested in at least looking at the council meeting tonight? But you got to raise your hand some kind of way so that we know that. All right, so I see you, Mr. Hill, and then I see you too, ma'am. You are waving. Okay, so what we're going to do is allow you to see your mayor in action, especially if you are a resident of Adamsville. We'll take the light back so that we can be able to allow her to finish out the meeting. And again, don't forget, our number is 205-214-5507. And then the county manager's number is 205-325. What is it?
5638.
5638. 205-325-5638. So we're gonna move back so that you can be able to see the mayor. So you all just bear with me. I'm gonna make an adjustment so you can see her very closely. Okay? Can you see her? Okay, very good.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. We appreciate you. Kyle, we very much appreciate you being here. I know your job is very time consuming. Thank you for all you do for Adamsville.
And then we'll do the check presentation.
It don't go
Are
on.
you sure?
We appreciate you.
You want me to do it now?
Whenever you want to. I just didn't want you to have to stay for the whole meeting if you didn't.
Well, we can do it if you want.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, so come on. You want to tell them to come on, Mr. Protein?
Mr. Wizenhunt, Mr. Anwar. Wow.
You there?
I'm gonna leave mine on.
I'm gonna go back here with you to get pictures.
I'm just getting over COVID, so I'm gonna keep my mask on.
So we talked about a little bit earlier about the dollars. This is what real partnership looks like. So we're gonna hold it up, and I was hold it down just a bit. I was able to do this primarily because that we had the mayor and the city council on board. So you'll be able to see that this is a check. It's what we call an internal transfer. So when you see Main Street being paved, Hazelwood is going to get a facelift. It's because of this $200,000 that our office and Commission won. And keep in mind, this mayor has been so supportive and the council. And I only have 40% of Adamsville, but I love Adamsville altogether. So we're a split district, but I want to make sure that we try to give the tender love and care in partnership with the mayor and the city council. So that's what you're seeing tonight. So those of you all that are joining us, that's what this check is, and that's how your street is getting paid. Partnership at work.
Go home if you want.
No, ma'am, they want to watch you.
Okay.
We're going to leave it up. They want to watch you. Can you pull it over there?
Oh, it's sitting right here.
Chief Harbison, do you have another mask? Mr. Brookler, you broke.
I've got some with
Okay. I'll go on with my reports now, and give you a little bit of information of what's been going on. We did, skip our first council meeting this month because of the surge in COVID cases. And, tonight we are all spaced out in here because COVID continues to, spread like wildfire. Please be, aware and wear your mask when you're out in public. Okay. I sent, our public works director sent the dump truck, small dump truck for repairs. The dump truck went down. It needed fuel injectors replaced. Yes, ma'am. Which required them to pretty much break the engine completely down. The cost was somewhere around $5,000. Ms. Gardner, I believe, has got the entire amount there, if you want an exact amount. I did approve that as daily operations of the city in order to keep us running. Our employees who have been out with COVID, and we've had quite a few employees out with COVID. Each department operating shorthanded there for a little while. We were short fire department, dispatch department, police department. And I'd like to thank those police officers who stepped up and acted as dispatchers and worked in the dispatch. That was amazing. But for COVID pay, the federal government quit requiring us to pay employees who were off with COVID. But at the same time, I felt as though some of our employees might be coming to work sick because they could not afford to be off. So myself, along with the rest of the Public Safety Committee, Chief Harbison, Elvis Leniger, Mrs. Gardner, decided that I was going to pay these employees, and I have been paying them under that portion of our personnel policy that says that I can give them administrative leave with pay. So I have done that, and they've all been given up to 48 hours of COVID pay if they came with a positive COVID test. That covered our fire department for a 5-day period. It would cover our police department to be off for a 5-day period. Any department would be covered for at least 5 days. That way, if they were off, that seems to have really helped. I believe the employees appreciated it, and I know we appreciated them not coming to work sick. So I wanted the council to know that I had made that decision and done that. We did not have a meeting because of the COVID happening. So that was, the policy allowed me to do that, and that's the way I acted. We do have Valentine's Day library giveaway coming up. And let me explain why we do so many giveaways at the library. Our library receives funding based on the number of people who visit the library each month. So we like people to come into the library. So if we're going to have a giveaway, we're going to do it at the library. You come in, you register. That brings people into the library. Our library is very nice. We have free Wi-Fi, and it was totally remodeled a few years ago. So if you haven't been there in a while, visit the library. The library giveaway has a giant teddy bear that's about, he's 3 or 4 feet tall, with a 1-pound box of candy and $100 cash for first prize. Second prize is a smaller teddy bear, and I think it's a 1-pound box of candy, $50. And third prize is a little stuffed dog with a smaller box of candy and $25. So make sure you go in and register. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can register once per day, per person.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
can I supply the $100 for the prize?
Well, I would love that. If you do, I don't have to. That would be awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
We had our fire department assisted with 3 house fires in the last 4 days. 2 were in Shady Grove, and they assisted with mutual aid. One, we do have an 18-year-old autistic boy in the hospital in UAB and ICU. Please pray for him, pray for his family. That's pretty devastating. I understand both houses were a total loss in that area. They weren't. My fire chief shaking his head knows. The second one was not a total loss.
Correct.
The first one was the Gill family. Theirs was a total loss. This second family with the son that was injured is not a total loss. So maybe they'll be able to salvage some stuff. And this morning we had another house fire on Poplar Lane. I don't believe it was a total loss either, right? It was salvaged. So that one was actually in the city limits of Adamsville. But remember to pray for your firefighters. Our fire department this morning, in about a 5 or 6 minute span, had a drug overdose wreck. Needle still in the guy's arm. The same time, just a couple of minutes later, there's a wreck on Minor Parkway. And just a few minutes later is the fire on Poplar Lane. Now, thank God it was that early in the morning because we had two crews, people coming, people going. But our guys were pulled. They were pulled in all different directions. I think our public works director was blocking the road at one point for them. So remember when you call the police and fire, we want you to call for an emergency and understand if they don't get there immediately, they're doing their best. But we could not leave the scene of one to get to the scene of the next one. So pray for these guys. They're overworked, and there's no way you can ever pay them enough. Okay. I'm going to have our departments, different departments, our different council people give you their reports now. Well, I've got department heads first, so let me give you my department heads first. Miss Gardner, I know you've got something with our workers' comp insurance.
Yes, ma'am. We've gotten a quote in for our annual premium for work comp. That amount this year is $162,124, and that does include discounts for all of the discounts that they actually offer. So the total discount off of that was $5,913. It started out at $168, so we actually owe $162, and that's just for our participation in their various programs that they offer that are geared towards safety.
Okay. I'd like to entertain a motion that we pay the workers' compensation bill, $162,000 some odd dollars.
124.
I so moved, Mayor.
Mr. Anwar seconds. Any further discussion on the workers' compensation? And all in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Okay.
I also need to ask for the library. If you recall, we had a copier go out at the City Hall a month or so ago. Our copier has gone out at the library. I guess it comes in bundles. Theirs is really critical also because they actually serve the entire city and community. People come in if they don't have a way to copy something, and for a very minimal cost, they can pay to copy something, or they can print something off and take it with them when they leave. And so we really need to replace that. I did call about repairs. They told me that it's so old they no longer repair it, and they cannot get parts for it if they did. We've been able to find a great deal on a refurbished color copier, which is great because she does sell color copies also. It's a little higher, but people do need those. So it'd be under $5,000. It's $4,980.52.
I'd like to entertain a motion. We purchased the copier for the library.
It's under.
Make a motion, we purchase that copier from the library at that cost.
Can I get a second? Mr. Brooklier seconds. Any further discussion on the library copier?
How much would a new one cost?
She did get. I remember it was more than double, Mr. Anwar. I had her get them both. With the type of backing that they give on this, it's almost as good as the new one. I want to say it was 12, in the neighborhood of 12,000, because I had her do both of them. So it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 12.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. Okay, with no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay.
I need to ask council's approval to re-enter the contract with Avenue Revenue Collections, which is what we all knew formerly as RDS. And they do our sales tax collections. They've been doing it since I've been here and quite a while before that. They do a great job. They do audits for us should that ever become necessary. And we sign this every 3 years. It's a standard contract. And in looking from this to the last one, there have been no major changes made to
We
it.
don't pay them to do that, right?
That is correct.
I thought so. We do not pay for that service. And they make their money off fees and fines if somebody pays their sales tax late.
I know that we renew that contract.
Okay, can I get a second? Any further discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
I have 2 insurance deductibles, Mary. Did you want me to
Yes.
do those? Okay, I have a $1,000 deductible on a vehicle. I need to get the approval to pay that.
I know that we pay that deductible, $1,000.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion? We did. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
And then I have a $5,000 deductible on a claim. I need to get approval to pay that also.
On that claim, I move that we pay that deductible.
We need a second.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
And Mary, you had previously talked about a standard amount for the employee appreciation. Did you want, I wasn't sure if you wanted that for tonight or if you were still working on that and wanted to do that at a later date.
No, do you have the figures with you?
Well, you had mentioned, when we previously discussed it, we had talked about $50. I had a 5. Talked about $50.
Okay.
Is that what
And
you
would you
wanted?
present that to the council for us, please?
Yes, ma'am. So in looking at it, we've done this in the past most years, but it's done in bits and pieces. We made a decision, or the mayor asked me to, and we worked on it together, to do a one-time thing as opposed to an appreciation for dispatchers. 2 weeks later, we're going to do an appreciation for the police department. 2 weeks later, we're going to do appreciation for the admin department, and it just kind of drags on. So we thought about asking the council to approve a one-time $50 for each employee, and then that would be at the discretion of their department head how they did it, whether they do it as perhaps equipment they need, a backpack or a flashlight. They've done that before. They've done it as lunches. They've done it as different things, but we would leave that at the department head discretion and approve that once and be done with it. So it can all be handled kind of together.
I believe last year, Bluetooth speakers were the thing, or year before last. One department got Bluetooth speakers, another department got cups, thermal cups. So, like for police
$50
appreciation day.
per person. For each department.
Yes, sir.
That's a proposal. I move that we adopt that proposal.
Okay. All right. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion on that?
Yes, this is annual, right?
No, sir. Well, I mean, we can come back and make it annual, but we've approved it every year, but we've always approved little by little.
Right.
Like police department for police appreciation day and fire department for fireman appreciation day. And this year we're just approving it all at once, and then their department heads can go ahead and make plans and get those things.
And as our funds present themselves.
If you look at the dates for these appreciation days, they all fall within 1 month of each other. So this would allow it to be done on time and expediently.
But we normally look at this each year, right?
Yes, sir.
We do.
Oh.
Sometimes some departments have been skipped because their department head just simply forgot to bring it to us, so.
Okay.
And I think on the appreciation, is it shown to each individual employee
Yes, sir.
or as a group?
Now, well, that's up to their department head. Each department head would make that decision.
So, the department head that's done this in the past, is that sufficient amount of money?
Well, I'm sure we'd like to have $250.
Knowing you, I would say, I believe it,
Okay.
that's a little rich.
All right, well, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
And I believe that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. All right, Leniger, Officer Leniger, you wanna come up and, I don't know how to address him. Let's call him,
Lieutenant, I don't know either.
he is acting chief here in Adamsville right now. Lieutenant Elvis Leniger, he is our acting chief. He's doing a great job. And I have some things that I'll go over for you. I've got the Southern software invoices, but have you got some more stuff there too?
Well, I'll start off with small. How's that?
All right.
I've got a presentation coming up at Senior Center, and I was trying to find something to give the seniors. It's a little booklet, and I did this. Hold on now. Oh, I see it. Wait a minute. Has to do with identity theft protection, which is a problem around here. Identity theft is a scam artist, especially those that's calling people on the phone. And I say, "Oh, Grandma or Grandpa, I need you to send some money." Yeah, that kind of stuff. These little booklets, I want to be able to give one out to each of the seniors and then have them available for the general public for 99 cents each. Minimum order is 100 at that price. There is a small setup charge for the for the book to personalize it for the city. And
Did it have a price on that? How much that setup charge is?
it's approximately, it don't say right here, it's approximately $35
Okay.
because I did call them about this. And the shipping, it'd be about $41.95 for 4 business days. Within 8 business days, $16.45. We got time to do the 8 business
Personalization.
days. That's the maximum time it should take
Okay.
on shipping. So
I asked Officer Leniger to bring that to y'all because I wanted you to know what he was doing and what he was planning to help the senior center. He's been doing several programs, senior center library, got that stuff in the works. And we don't really have to approve that funding. That's such a minimal amount that the council's given the departments, the approval to spend that much. But I wanted you to know about it. While we've already got it mentioned, if you want to approve him spending up to $200 for these materials to protect our seniors, I would love for you to do that.
I make a motion that we spend the $200 for the senior center.
Thank you. Any further discussion on that? If you get a chance before you leave, look at his little book. They're really nice. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Thank you very much.
And Ms. Gardner was talking about these contracts that have to be renewed every year. First one I got here is for Replay Systems, Inc. It's the recording equipment for our 911 and radio system in the dispatch. We've had them out here about 3 times, I think, in the last month. $3,335 for the year.
3,000. What was that amount again?
$335.
Okay.
That again, like I said, that is just a one that we have to do every year. Then I've got one for leads online. This is something our detectives use very effectively. deals with pawn shops and other investigative services packages. It's $2,191.84 a year, and that's a service that's a service that they use.
Okay.
You may have the other one there.
The other is the Southern software that I'll have.
Yeah, you've got some software, I know. Yeah. I just make sure there wasn't none I was overlooking.
I think I've got them all.
Okay.
Okay, so one at a time, we need to approve these, correct, Ms. Gardner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the jail recording system, we need approval to expend $3,335 on that for the yearly contract. It is, it's renewal of the annual contract.
I know that we renew that contract, that's the amount, what the amount is.
Okay, can I get a second?
Is that for the three?
I'm sorry, what?
You said to renew the contract. You mentioned three. This is for the first one.
Yes, sir, one at a time. We have to do them one at a time, they're separate. Okay, so we have a motion in us. Did I get a second? I did from
Yes.
Mr. Wisdom.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then I believe the amount was $2,591 for Leads Online,
$2,191.84.
$2,191.84 for Leads Online. That is a huge tool for our police department. I'd like to entertain a motion that we expend the annual fee of $2,191.84 for Leads Online.
I make a motion that we spend that amount, or at least online.
My second one.
Okay, any further discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And now the big dogs.
Yeah.
Southern Software. Southern Software is our CAD, our computer-aided dispatch system that we just purchased. I believe that cost us over $300,000 totally installed, so don't be shocked at the yearly annual maintenance. The CAD annual support is $7,272. That's just for the CAD annual support. The MDS, which is the mapping data support, is $1,767. The MDIS, which is the mobile display information system, mobile dispatch information system for our vehicles, police vehicles, is $2,284 a year service. Our JMS, which is our jail management system, is $2,828 for the year, the annual service fee. And RMS and DNS annual support. Okay, what is that one, Chief?
Our RMS is our reporting management system.
Reporting management system.
What we write our reports on.
Okay. This is how they write their police reports, and it keeps up with them and keeps everything.
Make sure we do get our reports. It automatically sends up that data to the government up for keep our
To the
staff.
state and county. Okay.
Yes.
And that yearly maintenance fee is $3,888. I have totaled those up quickly by hand and come up with a total of $18,039 the yearly maintenance for the Southern software systems. And I'd like to entertain a motion that we approve this and it's gonna cost us about that much every year to maintain our jail, police, fire, safety systems. Yes, sir, I totaled it at $18,039.
To renew those maintenance contracts at that sum, I move that we approve all of those items.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any further discussion on the Southern software?
Well, there's not much option there in that.
No, sir, not unless, you want it to go down, and it was $300 and something thousand. And we lose it, so this is what it costs us every year. All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Do you have anything else there, Officer Linder?
Not right now.
Okay, I'm gonna give you these, or give them to Miss Gardner. I'll make sure I don't leave here with them tonight.
Okay.
Okay. Chief Harbison, we're gonna make Ronnie go last.
Chief Harbison says you have.
Ed said that.
Mayor, thank you for mentioning about the structure fires. We are thankful that all firefighters were safe and there were no injuries involved with the firemen. Last council meeting that we had, we donated our Hearst tool, Jaws of Life, to Shady Grove Fire Department, which had no extrication equipment. That's after our purchase of $83,000 worth of battery-operated extrication equipment for 2 trucks. Actually, it was 4 trucks through the Department of Homeland Security. And one of my stipulations to Shady Grove was that we trained them prior to donating. So Lieutenant Nix, on his shift, they had a training meeting up here at Wayne Jets one night and trained them on the extrication equipment and then presented it to them. They were very thankful and know that they're very blessed to have that equipment. So they'll have ongoing training. Fire department wise, what I would like to have tonight is, we buy t-shirts and we wear those mainly so that because they're inexpensive and if they get messed up, it's a little bit easier than throwing away a $50 shirt. I need to restock. We keep them on hand. And I'm asking tonight for $800 to purchase t-shirts.
I'd like to entertain a motion that we spend up to $800 for t-shirts for the fire department. Somebody like to make
I'll
that
make a motion that we spend the $800, Mayor.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Brooks, there's a second. Any further discussion on the t-shirts? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
All right, I'd like to switch gears a little bit and talk about the Rex Lane project. Again, thanks to Ronnie and his department. They have been superb in helping us and getting things going and doing items for that project. We're to the point now that we're needing to purchase signs for the businesses that are there. And we got Buddy's Florist that will be moving in. Our projected date of Buddy's Florist to move in is March the 1st. And Kemp's will be moving up one slot, Kemp's Barbershop. Our projected date for it is March the 1st. And then we can expand Gus's Hot Dogs into 2 sections to give them a seating area. I got 2 prices from 2 different sign companies. Avid Signs and Graphics out of Jasper had the lowest price, and that is the 2 signs for Kemp's and Gus's would be a total of $1,070, and that's installed. And then the one for Buddy's Florist would be $985 installed. So for $2,000, we're looking at signs for the existing businesses and the Buddy's that's coming back into the city.
Okay. Are you getting a sign for each side of Buddy's Florist?
No, right now we're just doing one because we're wanting to get the patio completed.
Right.
to see what will show.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great idea. Okay. Well, what's the total of the 3 signs?
$2,000.
Okay.
I make a motion that we spend the money for the signs,
I'm sorry?
$2,000.
I'm sorry.
I said, I make a motion that we spend the money for the signs, up to $2,000.
Thank you, Mr. Wizenhunt. Can I get a second?
Can I change that? $2,055.
$2,055.
I amend
Figured
my,
it up right
He
quick.
amended his
I
motion.
amend my motion. I hope you can get lighted signs for that.
It's not.
The lights that
But we
are on
had
the
the
building
lights on.
are designed to shine down on them.
You're
And
the
if
mayor.
you haven't seen that at nighttime, it is really nice. It's really lit up.
I have.
Well, I need to get a second so we can continue discussion. Can I get a second? Okay, Mr. Anwar, second. Okay. These are flat aluminum, and it's coated, white coated aluminum, flat with black vinyl lettering, black vinyl trim, and the letters will appear shaded. They're very nice, and they should last a long time. And that price does include installation.
And if you have an occupancy change, all you've got to do is change out the vinyl lettering.
That's right, the vinyl lettering's all that has to change, the sign itself does not.
That's a reasonable price, because it's not right. But traditionally, the store owner buys signs. I'm surprised
Well,
that we all can comment on that, please.
the 2 existing businesses that are there, I do not feel that it's fair that we charge them for a new sign when we didn't give them the option of moving in. Buddy's Florist, on the other hand, is willing to pay a portion of this, so he did not have any kind of problem with that at all. What we want to make sure is that the signs are ordered through us, through the same company, all the time, so that we get the same look, same design, and these are not willy-nilly, anybody goes and buys a sign and slaps it up there. We're not putting up neon green signs. And those buildings have been done very tastefully, and we want them to look nice, and hey, it looks upscale. We look like as good as anything in Mountain Brook, and I like it. So the people like it. They're really bragging on it, and I want to keep the signage looking great. So Chief has been checking that out and going with different sign companies around, and he's found some.
Mayor, can I make
Yes,
a comment?
sir.
I think on all, I really think we should, keep the cost of the, initial signs for businesses coming in, because we wanna get these businesses in here. But I would like for us to consider any future businesses would pay for their own sign change.
Oh, absolutely. They just would have to pay it to us.
Right. Because we need to keep it uniform.
That's right.
And I would like to say I really appreciate Chief Harbison, because it takes a lot of work to get these prices down like he has,
Yes, sir.
even though he didn't get lighted signs.
But he made sure every sign's gonna have lights over it, so that's awesome. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? If not, then all in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, Chief?
Last thing I've got on the Rex Lane project, Mayor, is so far we have stayed within budget with everything, although we knew down deep that there will be something that pops its ugly head up and haunts us, and it has finally done that. The plumbing. After the plumber got in there, we have found that not all restrooms have water to them. It's been over the past few years that the water has been disconnected in sections and done away with, and it's going to take a little bit of digging and a little bit of work to get all of that repiped into those restrooms after we got Birmingham Water to turn the water on, is when we found all of this. So the same company that got the low bid talked to me, that is doing the plumbing up there, and he sent me a text today and said that he can get it done, and he would start tomorrow if y'all approved it, and for $8,000, it would take care of our situation that we're in without water to all the buildings.
And let me explain some of that to the council. You're gonna move Kemp's up a space. That space you're moving them to has no water. Now, Gus's would then have 2 meters. So they're gonna remove the old Kemp's meter, move it over, move the plumbing over, shift it over. And it's a lot of shifting. Every space has to have a bathroom. When he first gave me the price today, I was excited that it was that cheap. That's really cheap when you're looking at all those meters on the back of those buildings. So, I would like to entertain a motion that we expend the $8,000 and get the plumbing going.
Yeah, I make the motion that we do it.
Okay, can I get a second?
Question about the motion.
Okay, sir.
Not discussing. Is it guaranteeing that under contract because of the expense that we get into plumbing? You don't know what you're gonna run into. They're running and a lot more than $8,000 included. So I guess we have a contract on how it ends up or a description of the work. You're talking about the description of work, that may not reach it. So if the contract says I'm going to furnish water to these locations, then that's better.
He'll be bringing it tomorrow, Mr. Brooklier. This was late this afternoon when he got this word to me.
You understand, right?
Yes, sir. Today he just simply got the quote and said he could start as early as tomorrow, if we got it passed. So we don't have a contract in hand. I doubt we even have a written quote, do we?
That's a text.
Right, just a text. So we will make sure we get that in hand, something in hand there. All right?
So we don't really know.
All right.
So we don't really know the
Well, he verbally told me over the phone that this would take care of everything. You know, so I got the verbal, but I don't have it in writing. Didn't have enough time this afternoon to get that.
Right, so we'll make sure we get that.
Get a second.
Okay, we have a motion. I need a second. No, sir, he has not.
Okay, I'll say.
Mr. Brooklier seconds. Okay,
Now, if you understanding that, secondly, based on the fact that we have a million time amount, dollar amount, $8,000.
sir?
$8,000 is fine, that's what we're making the motion on.
Yes, sir. $8,000. Okay,
But the conditions you approval, the condition is on it being guaranteed
Change
the work.
okay.
All
right.
Can you repeat his motion, or can we accept his motion?
His motion was that we expend $8,000 to repair the plumbing and get the meters straightened out of the trash fund.
Okay. We're good.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
can we discuss them?
Yes, sir?
Now, this $8,000, to your knowledge, it's gonna give us water to every one of the buildings that we plan on.
To everyone that we're currently working with. We haven't really done anything to the McInville because we haven't had anybody come to us
Well,
that is a strong interest, you know.
But
we have an interest, but we need to make sure that's playing out before we expend the money.
So what you're saying is we're not gonna concern ourselves even with the basic stub ups. I mean, have you got it that far? So I'm wondering.
Not yet, because we want to build the suit. And if we go in there and start doing some things, they may say, well, our business, it's gotta be set up this way or that way. So we're just kinda holding off on that one section.
Other than that one section,
It
you're
will have-
saying we'll have water to everyone
Yes.
as it is needed.
That is correct.
Okay.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
That's
All right,
it.
and I need to let the council know that there are incidentals that come up with these buildings on Rex Lane. We've had quite a few incidentals. We had to go buy some 2x4s. We had to go buy some sheetrock mud. We had things like that are going to keep happening. So, I don't know at what point you all want me to bring those expenses to you, how much leeway we have to spend. Or do we have to stop for every little nail that we wanna buy, because we sometimes don't know until we tear off the old paneling what's behind it. And it's something we might can fix rather quickly. We've got Ricky Pierce, who actually went up and did some sheetrock for us this week. We're keeping the expenses extremely low. But anything that's of any high dollar amount, like $8,000 plumbing, you know, we're gonna bring to you guys. But we'd like a little bit of ability to expend monies, you know, on the different projects as they come up.
I'm of the opinion that since the council approved the project, that incidentals that you come across, I think, be in order, and I think Mayor has $100 expense report.
Each one of them has a 100. I got several thousand. I think y'all approved for me a while back, but
Whatever.
But I wouldn't.
Any incidental.
yeah, I wouldn't approve something that's $4,000 or $5,000. That's coming to council. But if it's something like we need to put some flooring down, you found some flooring at Ollie's on sale for one of the buildings, and what did you tell me it was
$1,100, I think it was.
installed?
No, that was just the flooring.
And then the guy said he'd install it for like $500 or $600. It was nothing for the wooden flooring.
What do you need, Mayor, like a $3,000 approval or?
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know. I'm lost here too. I mean, it's our first time rebuilding an old building, so I would say for single expenditures, keep it 1,500 or less. I'm good with, or maybe 2,000 or less. And then if we get into anything else, we get into some big expenditure, it's got to come to y'all first. But you know, if it's sheetrock or it's something simple, we need to be able to get that and not wait 2 weeks to come to council.
So what do you need, Chief? You saying?
I think 3,000 would be a good number. That's just considering you can't already buy 2x4 now for less.
Well, that's true.
I mean, it's $6.80 something for one 2x4.
Y'all agree on,
So
it should be. But if the complaints about a contract, I think contract.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because I think we have an understanding.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Mr. Brooklier said if it brings about a contract, make sure that comes to council, and that is absolutely correct. That would happen. Okay, so would somebody like to make that motion for the incidentals thing?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we put a ceiling of maybe $3,000 for incidental work at Rex Lane project.
Okay. All right. Can we have a second on that?
I'll second that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Anwar. Any further discussion on that? Okay. Did you have discussion on that, Mr. Anwar?
Yeah, well, there was something he said earlier, the very first thing he said, we skipped that. It's kind of like he commented on a donation to restricting equipment to a city, right? And then he said that part of the condition you gave them was that they'll have to have training.
and we do.
And you sent them to.
Mr. I'm going to interrupt you just 1 minute. Since that's nothing to do with this, we need to vote on this. let's vote on this motion that's
I
on the
thought we'd
table
already
first.
voted on this one.
Sir?
Okay, I thought we'd already finished with this.
No, we haven't voted on it. So all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, now, he's talking with Chief Harbison about donations we made to Shady Grove Fire Department.
Yes, and his condition of training, which he sent them to Wayne for the training.
We went here to Wayne Jett's
Okay,
yard.
does that expose us? I'd like for him to comment on that. Does that expose us to providing training? Is it a one-time thing? In other words, do they take over the liability? Now,
Yes,
if something goes wrong,
it's their liability now.
they have it.
It's theirs.
We are not exposed to it. Okay, so that's crucial.
Okay,
That we are not there
They
training.
have their own liability
We're not
insurance.
providing them training.
sure. Okay, Chief Harbison, was that all you had?
That's all I've got. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lay, you got a report for Public Works?
Just,
We've spent all the money, you got nothing, you get nothing.
so, I need to ask for 3 minutes, no. Just had a couple things real quick. We have a, street light that's out at Bankhead Highway and Union Grove Road.
It is out, that's the one I called you about.
Yes, ma'am. I got a hold of Alabama Power today. The power pole was broke in half. It was knocked
Right.
down. They temporarily put a light up. They've since taken that back down. I got a hold of them again today and told them how we need that, and also I think the city pays for that.
That's
that
correct.
light right there. They're going to have it back up within 4 days, is what they're telling me. It should be up by next week, first of next week.
Okay,
Um,
that was what you and I discussed today, Mr.
Right.
okay.
Good show.
We have the city council approved Basswood, the work under Basswood Road there at the creek to be done. It has been scheduled, or it was scheduled for this past week, but because of the weather and everything, it has been pushed back just a little bit. Hopefully within the next week or so, they should get started on fixing that problem down there.
Hard to fix a creek that floods when it's flooding outside.
Yes, ma'am. And then it froze right back after that.
Yes, sir.
We have bring it to the council meeting attention that we have a problem on Westwood Avenue that is being looked at. We have a sinkhole that is involving a storm drain. Engineers looked at it, is working up what we might can do to fix it. That situation's being looked at.
Is that on the roadway or just off the roadway?
It's just off the roadway.
Okay.
It's going to affect the roadway pretty soon
Right.
if we don't get something done, it will affect the roadway very soon,
Okay.
substantially. There's also a problem on Robin Avenue at Sycamore Street. It's
Right.
actually on Robin, right off of Sycamore. It's a drain that goes under the roadway, and it's eroding. It's an old clay pipe that goes under the roadway, and it's breaking apart, allowing the road to be eroded away. The engineers looked into it and is checking into what we're going to have to do over there. That's coming up. It's going to affect stuff. I think other than that, I have something on the agenda for tonight, but other than that,
Okay.
nothing else.
Thank you. And we got your little dump truck up and running
Yes, ma'am.
with
Thank
that
you. Yes.
$5,000 worth of repairs that I mentioned earlier. So,
I've gotten a lot of complaints about the intersection, Mount Poplar and Main Street, but I haven't noticed lately I had. What kind of lights out. Okay, yes, sir. That worked for a while. I don't know if they're still all right. So they're back out again? Way at night. I will, they were out. I will turn them back in first thing in the morning, yes, sir.
that's a constant reporting to the, yeah. All right. Did I get all my department heads? I think I did. Okay. Mrs. Scales, are you sure you still want to keep hanging?
I gotta be up in the morning.
Well, why don't you say good night